Alright, so in this video, we'll be looking at how to format your book properly for it to be accepted by Amazon platform. Okay, so we'll be looking at how to format your book, and at the end we'll look how to correct your spelling error. Okay, let's assume that you have gotten all your content from ChatGTP for any niche. Now this can be in any book. Okay, the formatting is the same process. Okay, so we are going to do this together, and so here is my book. So if I scroll down, you can see this is very long. So the first thing you want to do after getting all your content is to double click. Anytime you want to do something, double click, tap on it twice. Yes, make sure your pointer is displayed. That means you can type and do other things. Okay, now the next thing you need to do is to click on this three dots and go to page setting. Look at page setting, click on it, then go to the paper size. All right, so now this is for cookbook. You use a 8.5 by 11, while for other books you can use A5. Are you seeing? You use letter or A5. This is A5. Now if you're using A5, if you want to design your book cover, what you do is 6 by 9. 6 by 9, you approximate it to 6 by 9. Okay, but since it's a cookbook, we are using letter size, which is 8.5 by 11. I believe this is well explained, because cookbooks, they are more bigger than normal books. Okay, so after putting it on letter, which is 8.5 by 11, which is our book cover, we go back. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is to put your book on print layout. Click on this three dot again. You can see print layout. Click on it to activate it. Then you have something like this. I seen it. You have something like this. All right, so you can now you can see this is the front page, this is the second page. The second page is always table of content, while the third page is always copyright page. But when you're formatting, this first page, which is like the book cover, is not part of it. Okay, so you start from table of content, first page, copyright. I believe you know how to get copyright from ChatGTP. Your copyright page, you can also copy this, is the same thing. Then you can see copyright since the year by the author, then all right reserve. Okay, so that is that. Then your introduction, don't worry, see all this asterisk, we are going to, during editing, we are going to put everything in order. Now you can see, now the next thing you want to do now is to click on this A sign here. Click on this A sign. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is to click on this. After normal text, click on this font. This is the font. This is where you can select the font you want to use. Okay, now you can use a Times New Roman, or you can use Georgia. Okay, the two I normally use is Times New Roman, Georgia. Okay, so this is already in Georgia. Then next you want to do, you want to make sure you highlight everything. Click select all. Okay, to select or double click, then select all. Then anything you're doing will affect everything. All right, so now you can see, put it on Georgia. Then your page size, if your book is 8.5 by 11, you can use 18. Okay, to make the text to be bigger. But if it's 6 by 9, you use 14. Now if I use 14 now, you can see the text will be smaller. Okay, so that is it. So you can see the text is smaller, so I go back, I use 18. Okay, because the page is bigger than 6 by 9. Right, so that is it, and this is it. Now the next thing you want to do is to come down, you look at this place, put it at justify. Okay, look at this one here, that is justify. That's how you want all to be. Okay, all your text justify. Right, so I haven't done that. Now look at this, the spacing, make it 1.5. Okay, make the spacing 1.5, and that is all. You're all set. You cancel it, you go back, then you click out. All right, to come out it from selected. Then the first thing you want to do is to copy your title. Okay, All right, so you click, you copy, you drag, then you click on that A again, then you click on text, select title, that is the title of your book, then you go to the font, click on it, select. I normally use this comic, I seen it, or let me just use impact. Okay, it's now big. Okay, then I can increase the size to 30, that is for the book cover. Then I make it center, then I make it bold, right? So that is for the, then I come back to the subtitle, copy and drag. Make sure you copy everything, then you click on that A again, you click on normal text, put it at subtitle, then you select your text. Now this place is good you use something, not cluster, don't cluster your font. Okay, use something, use at least three. If you're using at least, it should not be more than three fonts. You can use one throughout, or two or three, but not more than three fonts, so that it will not be clustered. Okay, let me use 18, right? Then you screw up, you make it bold, then you centerize it. It's at already justify. Remember, we selected everything and put it at justify, so you go and put it at center, and it's already bold. So that is that. So we have the safe and tasty recipe for. Okay, so now the next one, you copy the by, you the justify, you can also get it here, center. Okay, then the author name, I like to make it bold. Click on this B, bold. Are you seeing it? Our book is gradually getting shape. Now this place I normally put book. This place you can leave it like this, or you can decide to put a picture, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. You can leave it like this, or you can use a picture. Let me show you. Let me save it. Okay, I've saved this. Let me show you example of, like, look at this book now. If you look at this book, I use a picture. I seen it. This is a book cover. I seen it. I put a picture. So you can decide to design a picture and put, or you just leave it like that. All right, so that is that. So let's continue. So what you're going to do now, this is our book, is gradually getting. All right, so if you leave it normal, this is how it will be, but since we are formatting, click on these three dots and put it at print layers. All right, the next thing you want to do is to number our page. Okay, to number our page, simply double click to activate the page, then click on this plus. When you click on this plus here, you scroll down. Okay, and you will see page number. Click on page number and look at the one that there is nothing in the front. Okay, you want to start from the one that there is letter at the second, and normally this last one at your end it could be different position. So I use this one, so this is plain and the number is below this last one. This is what I use. Then I click on OK. Now if I go to table of content, you can see that the number one table of content is now the number one, then the copyright page is now number two. Are you seeing it? So all your book has been numbered. So let's start the formatting. We have already started. So this copyright page, to copy everything, you want to highlight, press from the copy to the end, then click on this, make it center. You see the second one, center. That is it. You can see it's gradually making a lot of sense. So that is that. Then you come to introduction. You can use your hand to zoom as if you're zooming picture, and this introduction, you click on it, you copy everything, you come to this A, you come to your normal text, put it at heading 1, or your introduction, or your heading, that is the beginning of every chapter, should be heading 1. Then once you put it at heading 1, it will naturally change your font. So click on it, go back and click on Georgia or comic. Okay, so let me use I normally use a comic. Okay, so let me use comic for this. Right, then I increase the size to about 30. Right, then I make it bold, then I centerize it. Are you seeing it? All right, so that is that. Now another thing I normally do is to increase the first letter. I increase this first letter. Okay, click on A, go back, look at this text size. I will go to 96. So now you can see the book is gradually making sense. Alright, don't forget about this one. So edit all this hash you're seeing after everything. Then you can see now this is understanding this place. This is a subtitle. Okay, so you want to send it to the next page. This line you're seeing is where the page ends. So if you're reading book, imagine the book, the subtitle is starting here. So click on enter, it has gone down. Are you seeing it? So that is how it is. So now you don't need to touch these ones, just be going there. Look at here, the role of, click on it, enter, let it go, and enter the next page. That's how you be checking like symptoms. We are doing what we call formatting properly. So now as you're going, there are some tests that is make sure it enters the next page. If you know how enters, the enters. There are some tests that you see that is marked with red. So any test you see like that, what you do, you click on it and correct it. Okay, now the next thing you enter again. Okay, make sure it enters. Okay, now you can see our book is gradually making sense. You're already at page 10. So this is the end, this is where it ends. Now another thing I need to tell you is that let your pages, right, now you can see, let your pages always end with even number. Is it even or odd number? The number that 2 cannot divide itself with. Okay, so let it start from, like you can see, this is a new chapter. Getting started is a new chapter, and I want this copy everything. Introduction has ended. This is like a chapter 1. Okay, so it depends on how ChatGPT gave you the table of content. So now the next thing you want to do is to, if you don't do this thing, you cannot get your table of content accurately. All right, so follow this instruction, then click on A again, click on text, put it at heading 1, then your font, we are using Comic Sans MS. Then this page size, we are using 30. Right, I believe you're seeing what I'm doing. Then you make it bold, click on this B, then centerize it. Okay, now you can see it's gradually making a lot of sense. Okay, now if you look, this is page 12. Okay, and 2 can divide 12. So click on page break. I want to make it page break, let it go to 13. Very good, are you seeing it? So this is 13, page 13. Now this is how you continue to check your book, and you go gradually, you check, you go gradually, you check. Okay, so this is where that chapter ends, and we enter another chapter. So this is breakfast. Copy everything, click on A, click on normal text, click on heading 1, click on font, click on Comic Sans, any font you want to use, remember it must be consistent for all the headings. Okay, so I increase this font size to 30. I put it at the middle, make it bold, put it at the middle. Okay, so I continue to go, continue to go, continue to go, keep checking. You can see the book is making a lot of sense, right? So this is how we go to the next. Okay, we have entered launch. Okay, launch is, so let's put launch, click on a test heading 1. So font, comic, then size. I believe you know what you are doing is this one, so increase the size to 30. Now we make it bold and screw up, put it at the center. This is how we continue. This is page 30 and 2 can divide 30, so let's make page break. Before you do page break, make sure this your pointer is at the beginning of the text for the page, then click on the plus, go to page break, so it will now be 31. So this place is going to be blank. I believe you have seen books that when you read, the place at the end, most times if I did not end at the right side, you see that that page is blank. So it's the same thing we are doing here. So you can decide to leave it like that, or you can decide to arrange it like this, but normally I arrange it like this because Amazon do print your book for buyers. Okay, so you can see. So let's continue. We are gradually going. Okay, so that's how we are going to continue. Now if you look anywhere you see red text, I've not seen any red text because I say Amazon should use simple English. We are now in dinner, and dinner is a chapter on its own. I know you're asking, how do I know? I am the one that formatted the book, so I know all the chapters. Okay, so some book they'll give you chapter 1, chapter this. Okay, so during your pasting, if there's no chapter, you can do chapter. Okay, so click on it, click on heading 1, click on the format, click on comic, click on the page size, the font size, make it 30. You know, all our heading is 30, so we are going to page, make it bold, then you centralize it. Okay, so you're seeing it, so you continue, that's how you continue. Are you seeing it? This is rice and grain based recipe. Think this is not a chapter. This is not a chapter. That is not a chapter. So let's continue. Snacks, and yes, this is a chapter. So we click on it. Click on A. Click on test. Put heading 1. All the chapters should be heading 1. Note this. Then your font. You can maintain the font. You can increase the size. Remember it's 30. Okay. Then you make it bold, and you also centerize it. Look at this one. This is center, this is edge, this is right, this is left, this is center, this is justify. So what you are using is center. Let the book look uniform. Then you continue, you go. As you're going, you're checking if there's any error. You're checking it if there's any error. So we are in dessert recipe, so you copy everything as usual. Click on A, click on test heading 1, then you click on comic, then you click on the size, make it 30, then you make it bold and you centralize it. So let's continue. This is page 60. Remember, we say we are not putting it to any number that 2 can divide. So let's break it. Plus and page break. Yeah, so that's it. So you can see gradually we are going. So this should go to the next page. So I believe by now you're already familiar with this. This thing is not hard. It's not hard. The more you're doing it, the more you become. So this is another page. Okay, so click on it. Click plus A, heading 1, text comic. I believe you know what you are formatting. This the text size, put it at 30. Let's increase, make it bold. Click on B to make it bold and centralize it. Then let's continue. This is page 69. Yeah, 2 cannot divide that. So let's continue. Gradually our page is going. Now when you're formatting your book, always note that if your book is not above 79 pages, then no need for paperback. Okay, I think hardcover your book should be more than 79 pages. Kindle is at least 25 pages if it's Kindle version, and if it's paperback, because what we want to do, we want to create this book in Kindle version, want to upload it in paperback and hardcover, so it should be all your book, the text, everything should be more than 79 pages. Okay, so this is even more than. So click on this, look at this. This is what ChatGPT gave to us. Always remember to remove it. Okay, so always remember to remove it. Then this is, I think this is part of heading option. This is heading, so let me copy it. Click on A, click on heading 1, click on put it as comic, then increase the font to 30. Remember, all our font is 30. So it's the same thing we are doing. Make it bold and continue. This is how you continue. Look at this one, bring it down. Okay, so look at this dot. Always remember to remove this dot. Yes, let your book be unique, that even yourself you will enjoy it. All these other ash and asterisk, we'll remove them later. Okay, this is the end part of this chapter. Then we have come to the conclusion. Wow, we have gotten to the conclusion of the book. Remember the same thing, highlight everything, click on A, then our heading 1. Now click on comic as well, then make it 30, then make it bold and also centralize it. Now another thing I normally do, I do the same thing I do at the introduction. So I'll drag and copy only the C, and I'll click on A and increase it to 96. So I have something like this. I seen it. Is it making sense? Yes, of course. Then here normally I'll bring it down because it's subtitle to start from. Okay, so this is it. So if you check very well, the book is now formatted, and this is 86 page. All right, this is 86 pages. All right, so now the next thing I want to do, after you have done that, make sure you go ahead and click on is good to save it. Okay, and we want to start formatting proper. Okay, so that is one phase of the formatting. So now the next we want to do is to get our table of content. Now before we get our table of content, what we want to do is to before we get our table of content, the next thing we want to do is to remove all those asterisk. Okay, how to remove all those asterisk everything clear. This video is getting long. Let me cut this.